think something too that kind of popped up as you're saying that is I've always struggled with like who am I to pray for somebody? I don't know what I'm going to say. I'm not going to do it justice.
Yeah.
I'm not a great prayer. Like all these thoughts going into your mind, and it's not so much like what you say or how you say it. It's the heart towards the situation.
Love
And if
that.
you're humbling yourself, like God will use you. And you don't have to be, this elaborate prayer. It's just, you don't have to predetermine the words. Like in the moment, the Holy Spirit will give you the words to pray. And sometimes the most
Amen.
impactful moments for me are prayers that are heartfelt and simple, and they're not like these elaborate words. Although people who are gifted in prayer, like those prayers mean a ton anyways. But I think for people who are just learning to be obedient to the nudge of the Holy Spirit to like put a hand on somebody and just encourage them, um, whether it's prayer or encouragement or prophetically speaking positive things in their life, I think just the obedience of doing it is, and it's going to give you more comfortable confidence for the next time. And, but yeah, everybody, you don't have to be qualified. You just have to know that you're called and you can handle that situation.
You know, that's
Amen.
something that
Amen.
Pastor Anthony, you say all the time too, is God put us on this earth because he saw a problem that only you can fix. So it's like, you know what? We're not baseball players, so how can we fix problems within the Major League Baseball? Like, that's what you're doing. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Mhm.
that was the thing that you just said, Blake, that I wanted to, just commend you for as well, like Pastor Shane was saying. But the fact that you just chose to be obedient and just the humility that you walk in, you're saying, hey, God, I don't know all of this that's going on with the spirit realm and, all the different things that come with it. But you know what? I don't need to know. I just trust that you are good and you are for me and you've put me in this position to be used by you, so I'm just going to lean into that. And I think
Yeah.
people need to really pay attention to what you just said there, because that is so key in your walk with God and how much he can use you and how he will elevate you, with which is what we saw with you. Obviously, like you said, you went through some of the spiritual warfare, and I'm sure you can share some more on that. But the fact that you continue to press in, the fact that you continued to allow yourself to be used by him and to begin to pray for other teammates. People need to understand the importance of selfless prayer.
It's good.
We spend so much time treating God like he's Santa Claus. We forget that the most
Mhm.
effective prayer is when you
Amen.
start praying for others, and you are doing that. And like Matt said, I mean, the fact that you're doing that in the clubhouse of a Major League Baseball team, I mean, that is VIP level access for God to affect an area of society that not many people have the ability to do. And you're doing that, and your obedience is what is elevating you. And people need to take note of that, that God can use you in that same way.
And by praying
Thank
for
you.
other people, God will in turn meet your needs as
Yes.
well. I mean, that's the whole, giving and receiving
Yeah.
principle of heaven, sowing and reaping. So if you're sowing into other people's lives and you're giving of your time and you're actually giving them what you feel the Holy Spirit is prompting you to do, God's going to meet you, where you're at and where your needs are as well, and be able to meet those as well. So not that we
Yeah.
give to get in that regard, but that's a biblical principle that if we're praying for other people, those prayers and our needs will be met as well. So that's another way to sow into other people's lives. So it's amazing.
So I would want to follow up with that, like, praying for guys and stepping out of that comfort zone. Because I've always said on this show that, like, we have got to be comfortable in being uncomfortable. Like, as
Mhm.
people and as Christians, like, it's a necessity. Like, I mean, let's be honest, right? In baseball, ninth inning, you were pitching in the, World Series, whether it was the NLDS, NLCS, or the actual World Series, but the end of the eighth inning, I mean, the Rizzo strikeout, like, talking about that, right? You had to be comfortable in a high pressure, uncomfortable situation. For most millions of people would be like, I don't want to be on the mound in that moment. Like, they dream about it as a kid, and then they get there and they're like, oh my gosh, you know what I mean? Some people,
Yeah.
the lights are too bright, right? So people go to church all the time and they're hearing all the time about, okay, well, you got to step out of your comfort zone. You got to step out of your comfort zone. But then, like, when the moment actually comes to do it, many people shy away, right? Like, you look at the Israelites. they trained and trained and trained and trained, but then Goliath shows up for 40 days and challenges them, and nobody wants to step out. But it took a young kid with a pioneer mindset of, hey, let's attack. Like, I'm going forward, right? So
Well,
like,
he knew who was for him, right?
Yeah,
So, like
exactly.
David knew who was for him, so who could be against him?
Yes. So
And
like,
so it's like,
that's your mindset. Obviously, probably praying for teammates or other guys around the league, right? So like, my question.